list. Yesterday, Steve Keim, GM of the Arizona Cardinals, appearing on the Pat McAfee show on the efforts of Kyler Murray to milk as much money as he can out of the Cardinals. Here's Keim.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a timing thing, Pat. It's every quarterback that's done it before has done it from anywhere from July to September, and no different for us. I mean, I have to get prepared for the NFL draft. That requires a lot of hours of tape watching, free agency at the same time, and it's not easy. So your time is really taken up in a lot of different directions, and you have to prioritize it. And we know that he's under contract for another year and also the fifth-year option, and he is our future. We feel that way strongly, and I feel like we'll be able to get something done this summer.
I can't remember the last time a guy was picked in the first round in both sports. Was there ever any sort of concern like, hey, if this isn't a smashing success right away, this guy might go play baseball?
Well, I mean, obviously he has that opportunity because of his skill set, but, on the time when we went to Norman, Oklahoma, and we visited with Kyler, made it pretty clear that football was his passion and his love. And then as well as, when you do these things, and it was so important to get his contract done before we drafted him with the first pick, is to make sure you have some language in there that protects yourself from the baseball. So there's a number of different reasons why I think he'll continue to play football. I don't know that he'd be really excited to get on the single-way bus driving from Harrisburg to Shamokin, PA.
Couple of things there. Let me start where Keim started. The talking points that they crafted weeks ago, and they've been reciting in various formats since then. Hey, we got other stuff to do in the offseason. Free agency, the draft. We got to take care of that. We got to prioritize. These quarterback contracts usually get done June, July, August. They've been saying that directly and to reporters for weeks. That's fine until the draft comes and goes. Steve, what have you been doing the last 4 weeks? You've had 4 weeks since the draft came and went. And I know you got other stuff to do, but you can't say, I'm occupied with free agency right now. You can't say, I'm occupied with the draft. That ended 4 weeks ago. And when it's time to sit down and negotiate a contract, you carve out a couple of days, you get together with Eric Burkhart. It shouldn't be that difficult. Hey, Eric, come on in Friday, Thursday, whatever day. We got the whole day blocked off. Let's get this done. Shouldn't be that hard. So I don't buy this effort by them to keep kicking the can deeper and deeper into the summer. I don't know what kind of fake urgency they're trying to create when they want to do it. Whenever it's in June or July. They're running the risk, though. They're going to get to training camp, and Kyler's going to give them a middle finger and not show up.
Yeah,
if they screw around and wait too long.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. It seems like there's lines of communication, and it's going in the right direction. I will say, in Steve Keim, hey, you get done with the draft the first week or two, you might be worried about, the rookie contracts, right, getting signed up for that. But I would hope that the dialogue is going on with Murray and his agent and all of that. I mean, this one to me just seems inevitable. It does. I don't know, to your point, why we got to wait to the summer. Hey, the one thing I'll say is, you know as well as I do, sometimes teams, there might be an influx of cash that comes in during that time of the year, and maybe that's where they're wanting to wait before they have to give him a big signing bonus. There could be that aspect that's maybe that's why they're kicking the can down just another month or so. But to me, it just seems inevitable that, Kyler Murray is going to he's going to get a contract. They're all in on him and Cliff Kingsbury and this style of play like we've discussed. So he's got great power there. And he's, a marketable name and a guy that, the fan base can be attracted to. They haven't had that a ton there in Arizona. So he's got all that. So I just feel like it's only a matter of time before he gets a contract of $40 million plus per year type of average. To me, it's just about where are we at on that scale, like you discussed there. And, again, to me, where I want to go to Kyler Murray is hey, if you feel like, hey, this is going to happen, it's just a matter of time, get out there and practice. Do it. I know it's we got to negotiate, but
no, I disagree.
All right,
I disagree.
Fine,
no.
fine.
Because what if he suffers some sort of catastrophic injury, and then all of a sudden they say, sorry, we're not going to talk until you're healthy?
I mean, maybe that's going to be a bad look too. I mean, we just saw it with Dak Prescott. They paid him still. I hear you. It's risky. But, I mean, gosh, quarterback, practice, it's one of the less risky ones to go with. I'm just saying I'm the type of guy.
Ask Teddy Bridgewater
not
about
that. It's I know,
but I agree
ask
with you.
Chris Sims about it.
I agree. The risk is still small.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I know. And listen, Chris Sims is an idiot too. Should have held out and got more money, but I lost my spleen and screwed myself over. Had a lot of money, so I understand the issue there, no doubt. But I don't know what it's going to take or when it's going to happen, but it's just only a matter of time. It seems like, to me at least.
I don't look. I think that they went a long way toward putting out the fire a week or two before the draft, when Michael Bidwell, the owner of the team, and Steve Keim both come out and say he's not getting traded, period.
Right.
Kyler Murray did some stuff on social media that created the impression that all things were better and that it's just a matter of time until they work out this contract. But at the end of the day, they have to work out the number. Where does Eric Burkhart want to be on behalf of Kyler Murray? Where does he want to be in relation to the top of the market? Acknowledging the fact that the market is going to keep going up. The salary cap is going to keep going up. You don't want to get yourself into a position where 2 or 3 years from now, you're like, why the hell did I do that contract? Where do the Cardinals want to be? Where do they view him?
Right.
And look, not every guy's a top 5 quarterback, and Kyler Murray's not a top 5 quarterback. So, from the Cardinals' perspective, they have a guy that's made them better, but they don't have a guy that's made them great. How much do you pay a guy who makes you better but doesn't make you great?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question.
That's a very good question.
And the Cardinals and Kyler Murray are going to find that out.
Right. I know. Where do you think it is? I mean, like you discussed, like you talked about it. Hey, Rodgers is 1, Watson is 2 at $46 million. Then you got Mahomes and Allen, 45 and 43. Derek Carr and Dak Prescott and Stafford are at 40, right? So there's your 7 guys that are at the 40-plus mark there. I would think it'd have to be somewhere in there. But, yes, I wouldn't want to pay him Aaron Rodgers or the Deshaun Watson money. I wouldn't. Not yet. I wouldn't. But, yeah, you're right. You got the scale, where it's all going, all that has to be taken into account as well.
It's got to start with a 4.
Yeah,
It's got to start with a 4.
Got to start with a 4.
The question is, does it have to start with a 5 when Eric Burkhart starts saying the market's going to keep going up, the market's going to keep going up? That's the challenge here. Getting the right number that reflects where the ball is moving, not just where the ball currently is. And that's why I think it's going to take some time. So if the Cardinals are just pushing this and pushing this and pushing this and hoping that it's a situation where they sit down and they knock it out in a relatively short period of time before training camp, it may be more complicated than that. Maybe they want it to be a streamlined process, because the more time that's put into it, the more in focus this potential disconnect becomes between what Murray deserves or believes he deserves and what the Cardinals want to pay him. But I still think it's not going to be easy. The Cardinals notoriously careful with their money over the years. And, at the end of the day, and this was a useful exercise. I think the jostling that was done by Kyler Murray, the messages that were sent, I think they found out who is and isn't, more importantly, isn't interested in Kyler Murray. It's not like the Broncos called up the Cardinals. They called up the Seahawks to get Russell Wilson. And I have a feeling, number one, we didn't see any reporting about it. I've heard nothing about it. I don't get the impression that there were teams burning up the phone lines to try to trade for Kyler Murray during that period of time where it felt like maybe he was looking for a way out.
Oh, yeah, we've discussed this a little bit. I think there's definitely a group of teams that just no way somebody the size of Kyler Murray is going to be their starting quarterback. And then there's another group of teams that are going to go, wait, our team's not even set up to have Kyler Murray our starting quarterback, so we can't do that. So, I mean, I as talented as he is and as freaky as he is, yes, I do think there's a faction of coaches out there who go, I don't like playing him. He's scary, but I don't know if I necessarily would want him as my quarterback. I think there's a lot of that thought that's pretty real in the NFL.
I remember that Baker Mayfield angle. They're close friends. Mayfield had the shoulder injury week 2. He tried to play through it. He tried to gut it out, and the narrative was he stinks. No, he's injured. And last year, Kyler Murray, that ankle injury, he played through it. And by the end of the year, I think it was still bothering him, and he looked like he was shrinking before our eyes against the Rams,
helpless
because
he
didn't have the mobility to save him when the walls were starting to close in and he would zip away from everybody like the Roadrunner. That wasn't there. He's a much different quarterback when that's not there. So, and here's some of the clips from the night where Kyler Murray looked more like he's 5'5" instead of 5'10", just because he did not have that same that same acceleration because I think the ankle was still bothering him from the night against the Packers Week 8. And that's the one, that's the last memory really of Kyler Murray is that Carson Wentz-ish type of a throw. So regardless, they want to pay him. He wants to be paid. They're just going to have a hell of a time, in my opinion, reaching a middle ground, Chris. So we'll see what the Cardinals and Kyler Murray ultimately do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.